Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. It's your boy Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth. And it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. So today, guys, we're going to talk about 10 things you absolutely should not do when you're going to college. For the record, college, in my opinion, can be some of the best 4 to 8 years of your life, depending on how long you want to be there. You learn so many different things about yourself. You grow so much as a man, so much as a woman, so much as a person, that college can legit be 4 of the best years of your life if you do it the right way. Conversely, however, it can also be 4 of the worst years of your life, and the mistakes you make in college can literally travel with you for the rest of your life, depending if you do it the wrong way. And what I've kind of noticed from the people who I've kind of talked to in regards to financial emancipation and building generational wealth and financial literacy and things of that nature is that most human beings, particularly here in America, the first financial mistake most people make in life is college. And the reason why they make it in college is because college right now is marketed towards the American people in a completely wrong way. I've actually written a book, and the description is below, in regards to scholarships and why I think more Americans need to be applying for scholarships and less Americans need to be applying for student loans. Link is below. It's a phenomenal book. And I myself, full disclosure, I went to college for free. I got my undergraduate degree in engineering for free. I've been a practicing mechanical engineer for over 20 years. I also have an MBA in finance. And I detail my journey in that book. But generally speaking, in America, the way they market college to Americans, particularly the 18-year-old Americans, is completely wrong. And it's a debt instrument that's designed to keep you, in my opinion, in financial slavery. So in this particular video, I'm going to talk about 10 things you absolutely should not do in regards to your college journey. First and foremost, do not go to college just because you were 18 years old. I recognize in America that when you turn 18, all your your girlfriend's graduating, she's about to go to her college, your friends all graduating, all the guys you play ball with, they're all going to college. And you're sitting around thinking, you know what, maybe college isn't for me. Maybe I shouldn't go to college. Maybe I should become a cop. Maybe I should become a Marine. Maybe I should become a police officer. Maybe I should join the Air Force. Maybe I should join the Army. I think that it's a misnomer sometimes to tell children and tell kids that at 18 years old, you have to go to college. And I also have personally seen this myself where other parents of people will let people know, well, your kid must not be that smart because my son or my daughter is going to college and yours is not. I've been in conversations and been in rooms where that literally is implied to parents because such and such as kids are going to the local state college and your kid basically does not know what they want to do. So they're thinking about becoming an electrician or becoming a police officer or basically to sit around mom and dad's house starting a business. And to me, it's not fair. Full disclosure, when I turned 18, my parents had me on the 1890 plan. That meant that basically the day I turned 18, I had 90 days to get up out their house. That could have been me joining the army and basically going to Iraq. That could have been me basically starting a business and leaving my parents' house. But for me and my brothers, when we turned 18, we had to get up out the house. I personally went to a local college. I got a full ride for a local college and I studied engineering. So that was my journey. But generally speaking, people, do not just go to college because you were 18 years old. And I think that's one of the biggest misnomers. And I personally am a fan. If you don't know what you want to do, I do think more of us need to join the military. Why? Because there's something about putting on the uniform of the United States of America, serving for 4 years and figuring out what you want to do. The amalgamation of the experiences you're going to have, the type of individuals you're going to be around, the fact that generally speaking, if you join the military, they make you leave and go thousands of miles from where you grew up. And it forces you to get along with Puerto Ricans. It forces you to get along with Black people. It forces you to get along with white Americans from rural communities. It forces you basically to get along with people you've never been around. That's a powerful experience a lot of people miss out on. So don't just go to college because you're 18. So it's not a bad idea to work for a year or two, figure out what you want to do, and then go to college. Having said that, to all my parents that are listening, if your son or daughter says they do not want to go to college at 18, you make sure they have at least 2 jobs that they're going to be doing while they're sitting at home. I am not giving you a license once again to sit at home and drink beer and smash a bunch of girls and go to parties and all that. No. If your son or daughter says, Mom, I don't want to go to college, Dad, I don't want to college, be like, perfect. How many jobs are you going to get? Because you should be working at least 2 40-hour-a-week jobs. That's 80 hours a week if you decide to not go to college or whatever. And that's also putting an idea about what you should be studying. So that's what I will say about that. Number 2, and this is arguably the most important thing on this list, do not go to an out-of-state college, period. Unless if you got a full academic scholarship or a full athletic scholarship, or you live in a kind of state where you're like in Delaware, so you're like in Maryland and the state of Virginia, and Northern Virginia is reciprocity or something like that, and you can still pay in-state fees for both of them, then it's a little different. But generally speaking, it makes absolutely no sense for you to basically to live in a state and then go to a college in another state. Once again, I said this a little, I've said this in other videos. If you go to an in-state college, it costs $92,000 for a four-year degree. If you go to an out-of-state college, you get the exact same degree. On average, it costs $156,000 to get the exact same degree. So why in the world are you spending essentially $64,000 more dollars for the exact same degree to get you the exact same job? Parents, do not let your child go to an out-of-state college. It is dumb, and they get no benefit for it. Next, the lovebirds. Do not go to a college just because your high school boyfriend or high school girlfriend goes there. I met a bunch of clowns who did this kind of thing, and it was quite interesting to me because these relationships normally did not last after the first or second month when both people got to college. They both mutually ended it. So why in the world, high school flings people very rarely last? Why in the world would you go to a college because your high school boyfriend or your high school girlfriend goes to that same college? I've met people that have done this, and I can generally say it generally does not work out. I have met people who dated in high school, they broke up, they both went their separate ways in college, and then 10 or 15 years later, they came back. I have met people, and then it worked out. I have seen that. But generally speaking, what I've kind of found out is this. Your high school friends are very cool. Guys I played ball with in high school, we still kind of link up every now and then. We still kind of reach out to each other on Facebook and social media. And when I'm in town, we still kind of hang out, maybe hit up a spot or whatever. But generally speaking, what I find is this. Your high school friends, while they're cool, your college friends are the ones that last a lifetime. So it makes no sense for you to go to a college just because your boyfriend or your girlfriend goes there. And then honestly, to be real with you, when you get to college, you're probably gonna meet somebody that's better worth marrying anyway. So it is what it is. Next, do not pick a useless major. Now, I'm not gonna be disrespectful and say what, in my opinion, is a useless major because I don't do that. I think generally speaking, if you're very good at what you do and you're in the top 10%, you're going to make very good money. I have learned that. I will say this, if you go into science, technology, engineering, math, healthcare, finance, or law, the unemployment rate for those fields are less than 2%. And most of those fields start off making over $70,000 a year, over $75,000 a year. So if you get a degree in those fields, you are pretty much a balling. But basically, people don't get a useless college major. And I'm not gonna say what I believe in useless college majors, but I will tell you this though. Find a person who's doing exactly what you want to study in, what you want to major in, see their lifestyle. If you think that person has a lifestyle that you want to live, that basically is the major you should go into. If that person does not have a lifestyle that you like, or you're not happy with the amount of money or where that person lives, or the kind of car they drive, or the type of experiences that they're having, it may not be a good idea basically for you to pick that college major. And this once again gets back to my original point about sometimes it's a good idea to join the Marines, join the Air Force, or basically learn a trade before you go to college, because sometimes it's a good idea if you don't know what you want to do at 18 or whatever. I was lucky. I knew I wanted to be an engineer. Sometimes it's a good idea at 18 years old, basically, to kind of sit back and figure out, okay, what do I want to do? But do not go to college and pick a useless major and then have a bunch of debt that you have to pay back. Next, do not, and once again, I repeat, do not forget to apply for scholarships. This is the one that kind of breaks my heart the most. And actually, that's why the first book that I wrote in regards to the college series was about scholarships, because so few people apply for scholarships. And it blows my mind. It's literally free money. It's the easiest free money that you'll ever see. If you're listening to this right now, parents, tell your high school son or daughter to go to www.fastweb.com, www.chegg.com, or go to your phone or whatever and download the Scholly app. And and after you build a profile, there are literally millions of scholarships that your son or daughter can apply for. And there are billions of dollars that every American citizen is available for. The fact that so few people apply for scholarships, and the fact that the federal government makes it so much easier to apply to student loans, that should send off warning signs towards you. I'll say it to you like this. Your senior year, or the day your senior year in high school starts, you should be applying to at least bare minimum one scholarship every week. And in my opinion, by the time you set foot on campus, you should have applied to at least 25 to 30 different scholarships or whatever before you ever set foot on campus. Scholarships are, in my opinion, the golden road to financial emancipation. And it's crazy that so few Americans actually apply for scholarships. Next, goes hand in hand. Do not apply to a bunch of worthless, excessive, expensive student loans. Once again, $92,000 is a lot of money. And it blows my mind that I meet people who basically will completely ignore applying for scholarships, but they'll fill out every student loan they possibly can, graduate 4 years later with a major they don't necessarily like, basically have $100,000 worth of student loan debt, and then have a job that only pays them about $42,000 a year. That is not the place you want to be in. And unfortunately, that's the place a lot of people are in right now. The American people from ages 20 to 90 have student loan debts that is in excess of 1.6 trillion with the T dollars. And on top of that, student loan debt, guys, it never goes away. If you file for bankruptcy, it stays with you. So unless if you die, student loans stay with you. They're one of the only forms of debt that basically does not go away. It never gets expunged. And if you work for the federal government, in some cases, they actually garnish your wages until your student loans are paid off. So people do not apply, do not look at student loans like this fire and forget thing. I'll pay it off when I get to it. It's literally crippling people in our generation and my generation pretty much in regards to student loan debt and killing your financial wealth. Next, do not blow your summers partying, beer drinking, and smashing a bunch of girls. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. Obviously, young people, you're gonna have fun, do your thing. But at the end of the day, guys, your summer should be spent interning and co-oping with Fortune 500 companies in cities and for companies that you actually want to live and work in. When I was in college, I had a summer internship in a co-op every year. I lived in cities like Chicago and Philadelphia pretty much during my summers because I was interning with companies that were going to offer me full-time jobs the day that I graduated. Full disclosure, I actually had a full-time job offer waiting for me at the end of my junior year. So before I started my senior year in college, I actually had a full-time job waiting for me up in Philly. So basically, people, you can make $2,500 a summer working at Wendy's and McDonald's while you're staying in your mama and daddy's basement, having fun with your high school boys. Or you can take that job, or you can take that co-op or that internship out in DC or out in Los Angeles and make $8,000 in the same 3-month summer span. You figure out which one you want to do. Oh, and by the way, and if you do intern and co-op, when you graduate from college, when you're ready to graduate from college, chance of you getting a job are significantly higher because when you put on your resume that you worked at Sikorsky, or you worked at Pratt and Whitney, or you worked at Thomas and Hearns law firm, or you worked at Shader's architectural firm, or you worked at these various different companies, various different Fortune 500 companies, your resume looks a heck of a lot nicer than the person standing in line behind you trying to apply, and their resume says they worked at Wendy's and McDonald's during the summertime. So basically, people, take your summers seriously. You have 3 summers essentially. If you're in a 4-year program, you have 3 summers essentially to have an internship. You should try to get an internship or a co-op every year. And lastly, in regards to the summer, in regards to the party and the beer drinking and the girls, I'm just gonna say it to you like this, people. When you have a career, the women get prettier and the parties get better. I'm just gonna keep it completely honest. If you think the people in college are attractive, just wait till you graduate. Wait till you see the type of individuals who are gonna make themselves available to you once you graduate. And once you basically have means, you basically have the finances to basically do the things in life that you wanna do. So everything is a lot more fun, people, the higher you go up the socioeconomic ladder. And on top of that, your wedding options, your marriage options are a lot better as well. Next. Master's degree. This is an interesting one because when I was in college, the going rate, the idea was anybody who has a master's degree is automatically going to get paid $10,000 to $15,000 more. In some cases, $40,000 more. That's no longer the case. Period. To be honest, do your research, people, because what happened a lot of times when I was in school was cats would basically be going to their senior year, the last semester of their senior year, and they say, "Oh shoot, I don't have a job. I have nothing waiting for me. I haven't interned. What am I going to do? I know what I'll do. I'll stick around and I'll get a master's degree." So this person would go from having $100,000 worth of debt, get another $40,000 worth of debt to get their master's degree, and then they would graduate 2 years later and be in the exact same situation. They have a master's degree now, no job, and they also have more debt. And unfortunately, a lot of times a master's degree does not necessarily make you more marketable depending on what the career is. But it's like everything. Basically, people, you need to basically do your own research and verify that the master's degree is worth it. Also, too, in my opinion, it's a lot better to start working in corporate America and then go back to grad school at night on your company's dime. So a lot of companies actually have a program where if you get a master's degree and you get above a B average or whatever on in your classes, they will reimburse you a certain percentage. That's what a lot of companies do. Next, do not, and I repeat, do not rack up a bunch of debt and quit. Given some of the communities I've lived in and some of the areas I like to play basketball in and some of the barbershops I like to go to and some of the block parties and things of that nature, I meet, unfortunately, a lot of people that run around telling people, I went to college for a year and it wasn't worth it. I partied it up, I racked up a bunch of debt, and then I dropped out of college and now I got all this student loan debt and college wasn't worth it and you shouldn't go to college. I meet a bunch of clowns that run around saying this kind of foolishness. And it's kind of depressing because I'm not going to say college is the be all end all for everybody. But generally speaking, people who go to college make a lot more money than those who don't have a college degree. If you don't believe me, you can look at the numbers. So I meet a lot of cats who run around and because they did not plan for college, they racked up a bunch of student loan debt and now they're working at Wendy's, Walmart, McDonald's. And there's nothing wrong working for those companies. That's what you aspired in your life to do when you were 5 years old. Then that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. But don't run around telling people that college is dumb and it's not worth it because you made bad choices. And I do meet people who unfortunately do that. So if you decide to go to college, people, listen to the words and the sound of my voice. Do your research and do it the right way. And lastly, people, this is actually my favorite one. Do not go to college and only focus on college. So we have a saying when I was in school was, never let school get in the way of your education. And what that means, guys, is that when you were in college, that is arguably some of the most magical 4 years of your life. For a very short period of my life, I considered converting to Islam. That was when I was in college. For when I was in college, I got so frustrated and stressed out pretty much because engineering was kicking my behind. I'm going to be completely honest or whatever. I actually, and lifting weights and playing basketball wasn't helping anymore. The first time in my life I ever seriously remember putting on a pair of gloves and hopping in the ring to punch somebody was in college. And the reason why was because I said, okay, I need to find another outlet. And I'm so glad that I did that because exploring boxing and exploring kickboxing and jiu-jitsu and MMA, that literally changed the course of my life for the better. And it gave me so many different opportunities. It allowed me to go to travel the world. It allowed me to meet so many different types of people just because of college. And that never would have happened. I never would have gotten to the combat sports if it was not for school. Another good thing about college is it exposes you to so many different cultures. If you're a Black American, college is a good time to explore country music if you're into it. If you're a Black American, college is a phenomenal time for you to get into Caribbean culture, for you to get into soca, for you to get into dancehall, for you to get into reggae. I married an immigrant woman. And one of the reasons why I did that was because I got so cool. I got so comfortable hanging out with Caribbean people in college because that was something that I heard. The first time I heard dancehall and reggae and soca and everything blasted from the radio, I was like, ooh, I want to get down with this. Secondly, if you're not Hispanic, same thing. If you're not Hispanic or whatever, college is a great time to get into bachata, merengue, and salsa. Same thing. I was walking to a hip hop spot or whatever. I heard some Hispanic music. I heard some bachata. I heard some salsa and some merengue. I ended up walking to that place instead, and I've danced bachata, salsa, and merengue literally for like the last 20 years, and I'm very good at it. So college is a breeding ground, people, for self-discovery. It's a breeding ground basically for you to explore other areas of your life. If you're a white gentleman, maybe if you're a white person, college is a great time for you to take some African American history studies. And that way you can kind of learn about American history that this country has been trying to bury for the last 300 years. If you are Indian American, if you're Indian American, college is a great time pretty much for you to explore other cultures as well. So generally speaking, people, college is a pretty dope time because you can, you're in a campus setting where A, there are a lot of single men and women, and B, everyone is kind of in a very egalitarian state where you can explore each other and explore your cultures and explore different options. So with that, everybody, I want to talk about the 10 things you should not do when you're in college. Do not go to college and only focus on college. Basically, keep your eyes open and explore new cultures and new things. Do not go to college and rack up a bunch of debt. That's very dumb. Do not go to college and get a master's degree if you have not done your research to see whether or not that master's degree is worth it. It generally is, but you guys make sure it gets someone else pays for it. Do not go to college and blow your summers partying, smash a bunch of women, and then basically just drinking and whatever. Basically spend your summers instead getting summer internships and co-ops. Do not go to an expensive program out of state. Only go to college in-state. Do not apply for a bunch of useless student loans or whatever. It is instead apply to at least 25 to 30 scholarships before you get to college. And lastly, don't worry about going to the same college as your boyfriend or girlfriend. It makes no sense. So, yep. And then also lastly, people as well, don't think because you're 18, you necessarily have to go to college. Like I said, you can explore the military, you can explore becoming a police officer, you can explore learning a trade, you can explore starting a business, you can explore being an entrepreneur. So with that, everybody, it's your boy Chris. This channel is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth. It's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. And as I said earlier, people, college can be some of the best days of your life. But if you don't know what you're doing and you don't basically have a plan, it can also be some of the biggest financial mistake you ever make in your life. And you don't want to go down that road. Take it easy, everybody. It's your boy Chris. I'm out. Peace.